Welcome! We've finally gotten to the point where we need to write up what we've done. We've covered this at length in your studies, but somehow, at least for me, there were so many pieces of information and not enough context that I could never remember everything that goes into writing a technical report. Well, this lesson is as comprehensive as I can get it to be to help you bring all the little details together. We will discuss how a technical report is a deliverable. We will discuss the front matter. We will discuss the document content, and we will discuss how to be efficient. A technical report is often your primary deliverable as a consulting engineer. It is a direct representation of your company and of you as a project engineer. It showcases your technical expertise, structured thinking, and methodology, and should elicit trust in the way that you communicate. A technical report is the lasting documentation that is referenced in the future, and it should always justify the project cost and technical decisions. When you write a report, there should always be a very clear front page. This welcomes the client in. It states the name of the project number, the project engineer, the date of the project, the stakeholders for the project, the addresses to reach the different stakeholders, and the company that your project is provided for. Usually, your company would have a template set out. The technical report has a very specific structure. It is a formal document and it follows formal documentation protocols. The first part is the executive summary. This contains all the main information that pertains to the project, discussed in such a way that a very high-up CEO might read it and know all the critical parts of the project so that they can get on with whatever is more important to them. Often, this is a mashup of all the other parts of the report with few technical details but a lot of insight. Then, the introduction. In consulting, this is the area where the project proposal is often summarized. It states who initiated the project, why it was initiated, what the project will be about, and what should be the outcome of the project, often having leading questions. Information like the type of project will also be included. Jumping to the end of the technical report, the conclusion is sort of the other end to the bow that the technical report is tied up into. The conclusion ties in with the introduction directly, and having similar ways of phrasing things, repeating certain parts, and answering introduction questions directly makes the reader feel like they've come full circle. So, the introduction and conclusion should be reviewed at the same time. Your technical report, as a formal document, will obviously contain many pieces of information. This information will be gathered in a structured way from textbooks, datasheets, catalogs, standards, codes, email trails, phone calls, etc. As we've discussed before, you would have done your due diligence in labeling everything and noting your references. These will need to be explicitly noted in your technical document and beautifully structured in a reference section. Word is a nice tool to manage your sources and keep the formatting consistent. You should check with your company policies on their preferred referencing and citation methods and ensure that your reference section is formatted in that way. Now we get to the body. The body of a technical document is made up of methods, formulas, and systematic exploration. Each section of your body should ideally be associated with a milestone in the scope of work. An example could be a root cause of failure analysis of a gear tooth. So you would have a section on visually inspecting the gear, the limited mission profile of a gear during failure, the hand calcs done to determine loading appropriateness, the FEA analysis done for a static load case, a comparison between the hand calcs, FEA analysis, and recommendation from standards, and an analysis of the failure methods to determine the ultimate mode of failure. Each of these chapters have information in the following formats. You would have an introduction and conclusion to each section. In the section, the following was done, and these were the important points seen from the activities. There will be images included, like photographs of the parts, screenshots of models, tables, and schematics. Each of these items should have with them a caption with a description that tells the reader what is important from the item, and a source citing where the item was retrieved. If you took the photo, then the source is the author of the technical report, in which case self-reference is superfluous. A good practice to have when setting up the body of your report is to say what you will do in the section, then have subheadings on the subtasks of the milestones. Introduce the subtask, detail the information that you are providing for the reader in the report, cite the sources, and discuss what explicitly should be taken from your included items. Have a paragraph before a collection of items and refer to the items in the paragraph, like Figure 1, Table 1, etc. Then, in your images, add red arrows to guide the reader's eyes quickly to the important features and draw blocks around the important information that's sourced from tables. Do not allow the reader to have to guess or think hard when reading your report. The clearer you are with what you want them to know, the more they will know what you want them to know. When you have a formula included in your report, always have it numbered. Equation 5 is easier to reference than the second equation from the top of the next page. And always define all the variables that occur in an equation explicitly. When you have calculation tables that you include in your report, label them, reference them, and have your variable symbols included, along with the variable description, the value, and the unit. Never leave out any units. And when you refer to the information in the table, include the value of what you're discussing with its unit in the paragraph text. The idea is that the paragraph text should be able to stand alone in the delivery of your narrative, while the graphics should be able to stand alone in the delivery of the technical context it's aimed at. There will always be some iteration on your writing style, voice, tone, and sentence structure. As you hone your technical writing skills, these iterations will become less and less. Update your technical report checklist with the company's specific writing style, voice, sentence structure, or phrases used often so that you can quickly reference for self-checking your report. An additional little tidbit would be to create a repository of technical report sections for those projects that occur often. Then you can have your technical write-up for the section reviewed and approved, and in the next project, just plug in the variables and outcomes. This will save time in the future. Clients also really appreciate a consistent format or structure. If your FEA sections always look the same, your client will feel safer in interpreting your results, which adds value faster and with more impact. I have included a template for technical reports along with this lesson, as well as a checklist to ensure that you have addressed all the points that make a report cohesive and impactful. Please do not use any of the details given in the technical report in your professional work, as it is not appropriate to all circumstances and technical requirements. It is to serve only as an example for you to develop from. Your work with technical reports will be the activity you do, so I'll see you in the next lesson.